A warm greeting. Today is Saturday, August 3rd, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 7:30 p.m. local time in Florida, where preparations are underway for the impact of what is now Tropical Storm Debby. At 5 p.m., the National Hurricane Center classified Tropical Depression Number 4 as the fourth tropical storm of the season, named Tropical Storm Debby. It is now forecasted to reach Category 1 hurricane status over northern Florida on Monday, and then continue on a path over Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Currently, Tropical Storm Debby has maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, and we can see in the visible satellite image that it has a very broad circulation, with outer bands moving over southern and central Florida throughout the day. However, this broad circulation is somewhat hindering its strengthening, and it is expected to gradually intensify over the next 24 hours until it develops a more compact center, which is anticipated to occur Sunday night. It is then expected to strengthen more quickly, and could reach Category 1 hurricane status with maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. Let's look at the latest model projections for its path. Notice that it is generally expected to continue moving northwest-north over the next 24 hours. Then, during the afternoon on Sunday, it will take a turn more towards the north and northeast, and is now projected to enter over the Florida Big Bend area. This differs from yesterday's forecast, which had the center entering much more to the east. Now, it is projected that Tropical Storm Debby will spend more time over the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, which could help it become a hurricane before making landfall. In this image, you can see that the sea surface temperatures along Debby's projected path are very warm, which is one of the main factors why it is expected to reach hurricane status. Here are the intensity model projections. All of them predict that over the next 24 hours, Tropical Storm Debby should strengthen rapidly, which is why the National Hurricane Center forecasts it to become a hurricane. Once the center enters Florida, it is expected to weaken as it crosses into southern Georgia. However, the center of circulation could exit into the waters southeast of the United States, potentially allowing it to intensify again before re-entering over Georgia or South Carolina. This is why intensity projections show it strengthening again in about 3 days. And we cannot rule out the possibility that it could move over Georgia or South Carolina as a Category 1 hurricane by mid to late next week. Here is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, updated at 5 p.m. A tropical storm warning remains in effect along the west coast of Florida, even though the center of circulation will pass to the Florida peninsula. Tropical storm force winds will affect coastal areas experiencing tropical storm conditions. Additionally, a hurricane warning has been issued for parts of the Florida Big Bend, where hurricane force winds are expected. The National Hurricane Center projects that once it reaches northern Florida and southern Georgia, it will weaken again to a tropical storm before the center of circulation potentially exits into the southwest Atlantic waters, re-entering over South Carolina or Georgia. So, from Monday afternoon to Thursday afternoon, this cyclone will move slowly through this region, generating heavy rain and flooding, which is the most significant anticipated effect. Residents of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida should be prepared for this event. Here are the latest global model projections. The GFS model gradually strengthens Tropical Storm Debby as it approaches Florida Big Bend, projecting it to enter Monday morning as a Category 1 hurricane. Then, on Monday night and Tuesday morning, it will move over southeastern Georgia, exiting into Atlantic waters where it could gain strength again before re-entering South Carolina by Thursday afternoon. The GFS model shows a slow and erratic movement through these areas, leading to significant rainfall accumulations. The European model agrees with this projection, entering as a strong tropical storm or hurricane on Monday morning over Florida Big Bend, moving slowly over northern Florida and southeastern Georgia, then exiting into Atlantic waters on Tuesday afternoon, gaining strength again before re-entering South Carolina as a Category 1 hurricane. We still have some uncertainty. Several scenarios exist, as the GFS and European models show. The center could exit into the Atlantic and re-enter the U.S., while other models like the German model project that the center could maintain a northeast trajectory, affecting South Carolina and North Carolina as a Category 1 or 2 hurricane by mid-next week. Therefore, it is crucial for residents of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia to remain alert to possible changes in the coming days. Let's look at the radar Doppler projection animation, showing the anticipated rainfall over central and northern Florida, and eventually over southeastern Georgia and southern South Carolina. The slow movement through this region will lead to excessive rainfall accumulations. The GFS model projects 10 to 13 inches of rain in northern Florida, southeastern Georgia, and southern and eastern South Carolina and North Carolina, indicating an extreme rainfall and significant flooding event. The European model generally agrees with these projections. Let's talk a bit about the wind gusts projected for Florida. Here you can see that western Florida could experience tropical storm force wind gusts of 40 to 55 miles per hour, and areas near the center of circulation will experience hurricane force winds of 70 to 75 miles per hour. The latest GFS model projection suggests that Tallahassee could receive some hurricane-force winds starting Monday night. As the center of circulation moves over southeastern Georgia, it strengthens as it exits into Atlantic waters, re-entering South Carolina and Georgia. Tropical storm-force winds could affect almost all of Georgia, South Carolina, and southern North Carolina. We cannot rule out the possibility of hurricane-force winds affecting coastal areas of Georgia or South Carolina. This will be an extensive event lasting 3 to 4 days of heavy rain and winds affecting the region until late next week. In addition to wind and rain, remember the expected storm surge in the Florida Big Bend area, with surges between 4 to 6 feet, and along the west coast of the Florida Peninsula between 2 to 5 feet, potentially causing coastal flooding. That's all for this forecast update. We will continue with this special coverage. The next update will be recorded Sunday morning. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to the bottom of the video, click the red button that says subscribe, and then click the bell to receive notifications of new videos. I hope all our followers and friends in the southeastern United States are preparing for this tropical cyclone. Now I sign off. See you tomorrow.